Hi everybody. Okay, so I just finished watching this movie, Stanley and Iris. It was made in 1990, and it was one of the few movies I haven't seen before. So, like I said in a previous video, I'm trying to watch movies I haven't seen before, to give a new perspective. So, this one stars Jane Fonda and Robert De Niro. And it's kind of interesting because Robert De Niro is usually known for being the tough guy and really strong and won't take anything from anybody. But in this one, he plays a shy guy who doesn't know how to read or write. And his coworker, although they work in another department, um, Iris befriends him, and they befriend each other. But she helps him learn how to read after his father's death, um, because because he can't read, he can't really get a good paying job, so he can't support his dad, right? So then he had to put him in a nursing home, and then because he was in a nursing home and he was really elderly, to tell the truth, so he passed away, right? And they tried to notify him, apparently, and um, they had to fill out the certificate, right? So they didn't know his name, his father's name, and he didn't even know how to spell it because he didn't know how to read or write. So he felt really bad, and then he realized that he had to change his life. So he asked Iris to help him learn how to read. Well, at first, he doesn't really put that much effort into it, and she doesn't like it. And he's not used to things being hard for him. So the second it's hard, he kind of wants to give up, and she doesn't like that. And then also, her problem, I guess, is um, she's widowed and she's still grieving her husband after he's been gone for 8 months. Now, you know, I don't want to focus on that part because I'm familiar with grieving too, and it took me about 2 years to fully get over it. But also, mine was that it happened and then COVID happened, so it's kind of a double whammy. Um, but yeah, and her family is supportive, but they're trying to tell her to move on, but not, be mean about it. Her sister is played by Susie Kurtz, um, from sitcoms and stuff back in the day, and then Robert De Niro plays the main part, and then they're just like kid actors whenever to play all the kids because she has a teenage daughter who gets pregnant, 5 months pregnant before she finds out. And she's not happy about it because she wants better for her daughter's life, you know. And then her son is the youngest, and he's trying to. I feel bad for the kid because he's trying to be himself, but everybody wants him to follow in his dad's footsteps, which, I mean, I kind of understand it, but you kind of got to take your own path at the same time. So that's why I feel bad for him. Okay. Um. Meanwhile, in all this, Stanley falls in love with Iris, but Iris doesn't want to fall in love with anybody at a certain point, and then even when she does, she's nervous and scared to move on. So, what happens is Stanley tries to move the relationship along, but she still isn't over the last one. So he stays away for 3 weeks, and then he's able to read the note that she wrote him, asking for a second chance. And then they go back to being friends and stuff. And it does evolve into a romantic relationship. But the reason I like this movie is because the movie is an hour and 45 minutes. And for an hour and about 20 minutes, give or take, you don't know if it's going to turn romantic or not. So I like that because usually nowadays, if a movie is say 2 hours, within 20 minutes they already love each other. So I like the slow burn as they call it these days. Um, yeah, I appreciate that. Okay, so then Stanley learns how to read enough to be able to work on cars because he's good at mechanical things, doing mechanical things. So he gets a job at, I'm guessing, a car company in Detroit, and I don't know where they live, where they initially start, but you can tell it's like small town, and most people don't get out. So Iris is convinced that Stanley is going to have this job and leave her and find somebody else, and they're never going to see each other again. But he says, I'll be back. So then it takes what feels like forever. It literally had 8 or 9 minutes left in the film. And I'm like, is he coming back? He said he was coming back. So he finally comes back, and it's really funny because she had just gone to the store, the grocery store, had 2 sacks of groceries in her hands, and she's just walking, right? So then Stanley appears, and you see the car, the plate first. It says Michigan, so you kind of know it's Stanley, but then you get confirmation because you see Robert De Niro sitting in the car, and he says Iris, and she's like, "What are you doing here?" And he says, "I said I'd be back. Well, I got myself and she goes to the negative right away. She says, "Were you fired?" It's like, "No, I got a promotion, and I got a comprehensive health plan and all this stuff." So then he asked her to move to Detroit with him, and you know, bring her kids and all. And so she's trying to talk him out of it, but he's like, "I'm here, all right." And so, so they go back home and to the home, and at that point they're gonna end up together, but it's really cool because, like I said, it feels like a normal relationship. It doesn't feel like it's forced. It doesn't feel like you know what's gonna happen before it happens. And a lot of times, I would say starting in like 2000 up until now, definitely now. Like I said, you basically know the plot and everything within 20 minutes. So then the question becomes, do you want to spend time to watch the whole thing? Whereas this one, the way they wrote it and directed it and everything, you have to watch the whole thing to see what happens. You have no idea what's going to happen for sure. So I enjoyed it a lot. So if you want to see Robert De Niro and Jane Fonda in different roles than you've ever seen them before, you might want to check this one out. I found it on Amazon Prime, but I'm sure you can find it other places as well. So, all right. Bye, everybody.